frustration, why a Saskatchewan woman says she was ticketed during a brief stop in Saskatoon. A big boost for Prince Albert, what's now officially in the works given a new cash commitment from Ottawa. And Saskatoon sports bars prepare for Sunday's football frenzy.
This is CTV News with Chantel Saunders.
Good evening. A Saskatchewan woman is questioning a parking ticket after pulling over to care for her distressed newborn in Saskatoon. She says a stop made for safety ended with a fine. CTV's Stacey Hine has the story.
Katie Jackson from Asquith says she was driving in downtown Saskatoon when her 1-month-old became distressed.
She was hysterically crying and she was turning red and sweating, and I was concerned for her, so I pulled over to check on her.
After stopping along 5th Avenue North, Jackson says she realized her baby was hungry and moved into the passenger seat to give her a bottle. 7 minutes later, a parking enforcement officer handed her a ticket. Jackson says she was alone in the car during a January cold snap with her hands full and without the parking app set up.
I was stuck at the time. I was holding a baby with one hand and a bottle with another, and I just wasn't able to do it in that moment.
She says she wishes the parking officer gave her a warning instead of a ticket.
Just a little bit of compassion, maybe. Come to the car, say, hey, like, you've been parked here for over 5 minutes now. Are you going to pay?
In a statement to CTV News, the city says payment is required in all pay-for-parking zones, regardless if a vehicle is running or occupied. It says it understands Jackson's concerns and says if a ticket is paid, that means a person has admitted to the violation.
I was wanting to go and fight it and kind of explain my circumstance, but we didn't want the price to go up to $60, so we figured we'd just pay the $35.
Jackson's husband attempted to appeal the ticket, but the request was denied.
Jump through hoops and hoops and hoops just to get any sort of answer, just for them to come back and go, well, it's a bylaw, sucks to be you.
For Jackson, what she believed was a safety stop came at a cost.
I couldn't focus on driving while my baby was crying in the back seat. You know, the same with a phone call. You pull over, you take the phone call. That's what is the safest thing to do.
She hopes sharing her experience prepares others for a similar situation. Stacey Hine, CTV News, Saskatoon.
The city says crews are now working to level the ruts on residential streets created by the warmer temperatures. Drivers have been contending with deep ruts created as the temperatures climbed and then hardened as they fell. Water has also pooled in some areas. The work started last night and is expected to take about 5 days to complete. The city says the snow removal on priority streets will be paused while the ruts are being cleared. The city is owed $4 million in property taxes. A city report shows more than 1,000 liens have been placed on properties for overdue tax bills last year. Property owners have 6 months to answer the city or contest the notice for their overdue tax bill. There are more than 750 liens dating back to 2017. Saskatchewan Polytechnic has announced another round of layoffs. The post-secondary institution says while it made significant progress late last year for organizational stability, it continues to face challenges in the international education landscape. As a result, revenue shortfalls have led to 23 full-time and part-time employees laid off. SaskPoly says more workforce adjustments may be coming in the spring. The school is not sharing information on specific positions, departments, or programs affected by the layoffs. Well, Jeff, Saskatchewan set more records yesterday.
It was roasty and toasty, and I believe there was 13 new records set. But many of the records, Chantel, we can take a look at the graphic, the map we've put together. But yeah, a lot more stripes of red with locations on them from yesterday. But yes, a full platter of records that were broken. So the important thing here to note is that some of these records are just incrementally warmer than their previous temperature records. But there were three that I think I can use, you safely quote the Rolling Stones and say they were shattered, because Rockland, the old record, you can see the new record of 11. The old record was 6.8, so that's a huge jump there of over 4 degrees. The other one just north of there, Lucky Lake, the old record was 4.1. Now the new record is 7.7. And up around Meadow Lake, the old record was 4.6. So a big jump there from Meadow Lake up to 7.9 degrees in terms of a new record. So some very warm conditions. I don't think any records are going to be set tomorrow because things are starting to cool off. And we'll talk about all those numbers later on.
A Regina police officer who pleaded guilty to using internal police databases to access the private information of more than 30 women will not spend any time behind bars. Instead, his sentence involves serving 2 years in the community, including time on house arrest. But as Donovan Mace tells us, some who had their privacy breached say that's not enough.
When Carrie Benjo first approached police 3 years ago to report her private information had been accessed by an officer, she did not know the extent of those impacted.
I've had a long time to sit with this. I've resolved it within myself. Whatever came out of today would be it.
Former Regina Police Sergeant Robert Semenchuk pleaded guilty in November to breach of trust and unauthorized use of a computer charges. He used internal police databases to access the information of Benjo and 32 other women for over 12 years from 2011 to 2023. Some, like Benjo, Semenchuk even engaged in intimate relationships with.
Today for me was just closure to a very long journey, and my expectations were met.
Judge Marilyn Beaton handing down her sentence, which will see Semenchuk spend 6 months on house arrest, another 18 months on a conditional sentence served in the community, and then 3 years of probation. But for some, that penalty is not harsh enough.
I was expecting more. I think that 33 women deserve more. We were victimized, we were stalked, we were taken advantage of.
The sentence follows a joint submission from the Crown and the defense.
When you look at the judge's decision, she did outline that. It is a situation where we are required to consider all the case law, consider the offenses that have been charged.
Because this case involved a serious breach of trust. At the same time, the judge needs to consider the sentencing principle.
Regina Police Chief Laura Lee Davies says the service is implementing a series of new protocols, ensuring similar incidents do not happen again.
I am committed to doing better and, looking at any possibility in terms of what that might look like. So whether it's systems, whether it's training, and, I think deterrence in cases going forward.
But for Benjo, relief. The process of moving on may now begin.
I was determined that, this man would not leave me in fear. He no longer has that power.
Donovan Mace, CTV News, Regina.
Now to a major announcement for Prince Albert today. The city and Woodland Cree First Nations partners are celebrating a federal grant that brings Prince Albert one step closer to building a convention and cultural event center. Jasmine Pelche with that story.
It's going to attract tourism, it's going to attract business, it's going to attract cultural events, entertainment. It's going to become a hopping place.
Prince Albert has received $15 million in federal funding for a convention and cultural event center. The city says it marks an important first funding step toward making the center a reality. But at this point, there isn't a set timeline for construction.
Our goal is to get all of our funding in place. I'd be remiss if I gave you a specific timeline, but this is something, our goals are set and we want to get going and hit the ground as soon as we can.
In 2024, the city partnered with Lac La Ronge Indian Band, Montreal Lake Cree Nation, and Peter Ballantyne Cree Nation for funding opportunities and shared ownership of the center.
People come here to go to school, to attend school, and also to play sports, and also just to be part of the city. We have a lot of opportunities.
The Woodland Cree First Nations would own up to 45% of the proposed development in this arrangement.
There's no question in my mind, without the First Nations engagement, we would not be here celebrating this success.
The convention center will be right next to the Lake Country Co-op Leisure Center. The city says the project is fully designed as work continues to sort out other funding opportunities.
The cost was originally, during the election, we talked about $135 million. You know, that's the best guess at the time.
With the potential to create up to 600 jobs, Paulinski says the city will have a better idea of the total cost as the proposed project moves forward. Jasmine Pelche, CTV News, Prince Albert.
A cash commitment from the province today for the Prince Albert Police Service. $830,000 will be spent on recruiting and retaining 7 officers. It's part of the Provincial Safer Communities and Neighborhoods Enforcement Initiative, also known as SCAN. The province says it will enhance frontline policing capacity and improve response times across the city. The police service says this money will help with capacity and sustainability and doesn't mean there will be an instant increase in policing strength on the streets.
Policing is a profession that requires recruitment, training, and retention over time. Funding does not create immediate officers on the street, but it does strengthen the organization so that we can deliver policing services more efficiently and responsibly.
The province has committed $6 million for this initiative for the 2025-26 fiscal year to add approximately 100 officers across Saskatchewan. It's a big weekend for sports fans as Super Bowl 60 draws near, and Saskatoon businesses are busily preparing for the big day. Hallie Mandrick has more.
Saskatoon sports bars are gearing up for one of the busiest days of the year.
Super Bowl is the Super Bowl. You know, it's one of the biggest sporting days of the year, so it brings down quite a few people, from the die-hard fan to just a casual observer.
According to Chudskoff, Super Bowl Sunday takes a significant amount of preparation for the Sports on Tap team, and they're not alone. Over at Hudson's Pub, staff are also getting ready for an especially busy shift.
Oh yes, big screen will be down, sound will be on. We've had a lot of fans coming in throughout the regular season to watch football, so I can only imagine Super Bowl Sunday is going to be really busy.
While Super Bowl Sunday revolves around football, many people are also focused on the food and drinks that come along with the occasion.
Oh, big things like, you know, the wings. Wings are always a good thing. People gotta have some snacks while they watch the game, or, you know, a burger's great, beef dip's good too. You know, like whatever people want. There's no sky's limit for big games.
Rotinsky says there's one food that always proves to be the most popular when the Super Bowl rolls around.
Nothing screams Super Bowl Sunday more than chicken wings. Super Bowl Sunday is going to be a crazy day here. We have an all-you-can-eat wings promo happening for $20.
Chudskoff says, while the day requires a lot of extra work, he wouldn't have it any other way.
It is crazy, and it's a great crazy. Everyone's just cheering and yelling and screaming, you know. Anywhere from go team to, you know, profanities when bad things happen. You know, it's quite a mix of emotions during a game, so it's great.
Hallie Mandrick, CTV News, Saskatoon.
Saskatchewan bars and restaurants can now request to serve alcohol early so patrons can cheer on Olympic athletes at the Milano Cortina Games. The Saskatchewan Liquor and Gaming Authority will consider requests to begin serving alcohol as early as 5 a.m. on a case-by-case basis, several hours earlier than typically allowed. According to the province, the special exemption gives people the chance to cheer on Canadian athletes despite the time difference. Establishments can request extended hours through the SLGA's licensing branch. Saskatchewan added 15,000 jobs over the last year, according to new numbers from Statistics Canada. The Yorkton-Melville Economic Region had the lowest unemployment rate in the province at 3.4%. The provincial unemployment rate was at 5.3%, the lowest among the provinces last month.
Force we need to fill the jobs being created by our strong economic growth. Saskatchewan will continue to be strong as we move forward into 2026. And while our labor market is only one metric, it is a strong one and one that I'm happy to talk about.
Chan says the government hasn't seen any significant impact on job growth as a result of tariffs. Groups concerned about the planned closure of the Indian Head Research Farm are uniting against the federal government's plan. The facility is slated to close this summer after 140 years in operation. Today, people met in the community to plan the next steps. Wayne Mantika was there and has more.
Going to do a couple
A growing coalition of groups opposed to closure of the Indian Head Research Farm met in the community to discuss the impact. They include elected representatives and farm leaders who want Ottawa's decision reversed.
I wanted to talk to the people directly affected by this decision, and I want to be well armed when I go back to Ottawa to fight for this. We're going to have some committee hearings on this very subject, and I'm going to do everything I can to fight to keep this research centre open.
The research and crop testing facility has been in operation since the 1800s. It's slated to close this summer as part of a plan to reduce the size of the federal civil service. Former staff say many important discoveries were made at the facility.
One thing that I was proud to be part of was the development of midge-resistant wheats, which was a huge breakthrough. It's the first of a kind in Canada, in the world actually, and it was with our scientists in Agriculture and Agri-Food Canada.
Loss of the research farm would be a second blow dealt the community by the federal government. In 2013, Ottawa closed the Indian Head Tree Nursery. Combined, it represents about 100 jobs.
What are those people going to do? And it's not just those people that are losing their jobs, it's their spouses and what they're involved in town, whether they're teachers, whether they're nurses, whether they're, so many other things, and volunteers for scouts and leaders and hockey coaches and stuff. So it's going to affect us huge again.
The people involved in today's meeting hope to generate awareness to the work done by the research farm and generate some resistance to Ottawa's plan, in hopes of having the decision reversed. Wayne Mantika, CTV News, Indian Head.
A Saskatchewan organization is making life a little easier for cancer patients, and now it's looking for more volunteers. Damien Smith has that story.
Leroy Kwan started volunteering as a driver for the Canadian Cancer Society as a way to honor his late wife.
Like everybody in today's world, I mean, they've had to deal with cancer. And part of the motivation was I lost my wife to cancer in 2018.
The Wheels of Hope driving program spans from British Columbia to Ontario, as well as Newfoundland and Labrador. They are currently looking for volunteer drivers in Regina and Saskatoon to transport cancer patients to and from treatments.
It's hard to find transportation sometimes if you don't drive, if you don't have a vehicle. We know that taking a taxi is very expensive. So that's where the Wheels of Hope comes in.
According to the CCS, 42% of Canadians end up with a cancer diagnosis at some point in their life. In tough times, Kwan says patients he is driven are largely positive.
I run into days where some of the clients might not get the best of news. And then some days it's a bit frustrating because of the waits that are involved. But you realize that what they're dealing with, and then adjust accordingly.
In 2025, Wheels of Hope took in 165 clients across Canada, totaling 1,774 round trips and over 17,000 kilometers. Kwan volunteers as a driver 3 days a week, transporting up to 8 clients a day, and he says he looks forward to hearing the good stories.
So when there was a rap on my window, and it was this particular client who said, "Oh, I just had a visit with my doctor, and they don't want to see me anymore."
Some people just want to express themselves, and there may be the odd person that might be a little teary, but that's okay. It's understandable, what they're going through, and while they're fighting this horrible disease.
Damien Smith, CTV News, Regina.
Still to come, a Canadian consulate opens in Greenland. The significance and the celebration. Also, the official opening of the Winter Games. You're watching CTV News Live from downtown Saskatoon. Thanks for staying with us tonight. Foreign Affairs Minister Anita Anand was in Greenland's capital city today for the official opening of a Canadian consulate. It's being welcomed as a show of solidarity for the Danish-held Arctic territory amid threats from Washington. Abigail Beeman has the latest.
Cool, we're in Nuuk. Ida Saunders is one of dozens of Canadian Inuit landing in Greenland ahead of the opening of the first Canadian consulate since the Second World War.
Historically, we've always been close. We just never had to state it to anybody before, I suppose.
We are one people. That's the message the Inuit on this charter flight are sending. Many see ties between Donald Trump's threats to take over Greenland with both his 51st state threats and their own history of colonization.
All the current events involving Donald Trump have been very insulting to all Inuit everywhere. I think they've insulted me. And I wanted to just show my solidarity with the people of Greenland. She just had her baby, so she came to the airport to greet me.
Atlas. His name is Atlas.
Friends so close, Hilitaguna calls Atlas her Canadian grandson.
Inuit that are, impacted by borders, but not like we're breaking down those colonial borders, which is amazing.
Atlas's mom says she's worried about Trump's threats and glad Canada is opening a consulate.
I really appreciate, as an Inuit from Greenland, and I really love they showing their support.
While Atlas's father isn't so worried.
I see those videos of Trump on social media, and I see them, I listen, but I don't take them seriously.
Canada's Governor General and the Foreign Affairs Minister arrive here on Friday to officially open the consulate. Abigail Beeman, CTV News, Nuuk, Greenland.
While some preliminary athletic events have already been taking place, today marks the official kickoff of the 2026 Milano Cortina Winter Olympic Games. Opening ceremony festivities took place at several sites across northern Italy. CTV's Scott Hurst was following all of the action today.
More than 200 Canadian athletes are stepping onto the world stage. Led by flag bearers, Quebec's Michael Kingsbury and BC's Marielle Thompson, both athletes previous Olympic champions, as Canada's team eyes more podium appearances. The opening ceremony is a stunning display of culture and sport, with the host nation always mixing in its own flavor, and Italy sure has a rich history to show off as Milano Cortina welcomes the world. And for the first time in Olympic history, the ceremony takes place across multiple venues in separate cities in a widespread yet unified event, with San Siro Olympic Stadium in Milan serving as the central hub.
They'll emphasize Italy, naturally. Music, dance, arts, they have a lot to work with.
Even before the pomp and ceremony to officially kick off 17 days of sport and spectacle, Canadian athletes have already begun making their mark. Quebec's Francis Jobin soaring into the Big Air final. He'll have a shot at the podium on Saturday in his Olympic debut. The husband and wife mixed doubles curling team of Jocelyn Peterman and Brett Gallant are now 3-1, winning their first 3 matches before falling to the Americans. And Canadians sit 5th after day 1 of the Olympic figure skating team event. The competition kicks into high gear tomorrow with the first medals being awarded. And after the first match was postponed on Thursday, the Canadian women's hockey team will begin its pursuit of back-to-back Olympic gold medals. Scott Hurst, CTV News, Toronto.
And Scott mentioned that the opening ceremony took place across several venues. And as CTV's Heather Butts reports, that same spread-out setup will also define the athletic competition at this year's Games.
Meeting this crew from the Netherlands, already a highlight for Ontario's Marga Wilson during her Olympic experience.
Bucket list, definitely. To see all the different athletes from all the different countries is so exciting.
The Olympic motto, after all, is about celebrating the unifying power of sport.
I'm hoping Canada goes gold, but we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, you met some Czech hockey player at the airport yesterday. So you did wish him luck, but secretly he said not too much luck.
A unique aspect of these games is how spread out the events are. Organizers wanted to use existing infrastructure as much as possible, but this means no central hub.
It's missing a little bit of snow, to be honest. Canada would be better to host them, but it's nice to be in the city. I feel like in the mountains it'll feel like more of the Winter Olympics here.
I was kind of hoping to see a little bit more like fan zones here.
And I didn't quite see that, but maybe they're just spread out more through like Cortina and Livigno, so we'll see.
Competitions are taking place all over northern Italy, making this the most widespread Olympic sports setup in history. The games will span over 22,000 square kilometers. A trip between Milan and Cortina could take upwards of 6 hours. It means not all of Team Canada's athletes will be in the same village or region throughout the games.
You know, giving a high five to an athlete in another sport, or even the gentle smile when you're under such pressure, can make a huge difference.
Olympic champion and Canada chef de mission Jennifer Heil admits it will be a different experience, but the team is turning to technology with video chats and highlight reels to help unite them.
I think there's a trade-off between, you know, the positive and the negative. I think for the Olympic movement, it's very positive that we're going to venues that already exist that make it more sustainable and easier to host.
The last time Italy hosted the Winter Games in Turin 2006, medal ceremonies were held in the center of the city each day, creating a buzz, adding to the Olympic spirit. Because of the distance, this year, medal ceremonies will be held at the venues following the competitions. Heather Butts, CTV News, Milan.
Hey folks, we're in Echo, Juno-nominated trad trio and PEI's 2025 Artist of the Year, and we're playing in Saskatoon for the very first time on February 9th at The Basement. You can find out more at thebasement.ca. So Jeff, what's the weather going to be like?
Well, it will be different than what you might find in the land of Anne of Green Gables, but we do have some welcoming conditions for you because it's going to be warmer than seasonal, at least around here. So let's take a quick look here and see what things are going to be like on Monday for your performance. A daytime high of -2 under mainly cloudy skies, so about 8 degrees above seasonal. Let's say 7 degrees above seasonal. Once again, that's Monday night at the Basement. Showtime is 7:30. Echo in performing there, and you can get more information by going to thebasement.ca. Now, let's take a look and see what we've got going on with our numbers. Starting off with 0 degrees right now in Saskatoon, -8 in Prince Albert, -1 in the Battlefords. And the Battlefords, a little bit of rain snow mix right now, but just a little something, something. And everyone in the 20s in terms of wind speed, a little breezier in Saskatoon than it is in Prince Albert and the Battlefords. Quick look at Saskatoon's almanac. With the almanac for the bridge city, 0 degrees for a daytime high, so 9 degrees above seasonal. 8, though, that was the record set in 1991. That was a warm year across Saskatchewan on this date. And 6:03 is when the sun went down.
Coming up, Saskatchewan celebrates the Winter Games. So look at how the Olympics are being marked in our province.
Canadian music icon is coming to Saskatchewan. Monday on Your Morning, we were in conversation with Alan Doyle of Great Big Sea fame as he gets set to bring his tour to the prairies.
All right, let's take a look at this beautiful sky through the live lens of Skycam. And yes, there's some clouds out there, but still you can see a little bit of splash of color on the horizon. And another mild day, maybe not a record breaker, but still a messy day on the roads, I suspect. But that mild Pacific air continues to push across the Rocky Mountains into Alberta and Saskatchewan, not really having the same impact on Manitoba. The high pressure ridge is starting to break down, so we are going to see a little bit more of that cold air make its way our way. But where is it really going? Ontario and Quebec into parts of the USA and eventually Atlantic Canada. Some very cold conditions for Ontario and Quebec over the weekend. But the rest of us, not so bad. It's going to be very rainy on Canada's west coast if your plans are taking you out to Vancouver or Victoria. 0 degrees in Saskatoon right now, -8 in Prince Albert, and -1 in the Battlefords. All right, our hot spot today, that was Maple Creek at 11 degrees. Cold spot, -37. Brrr. Some of that Arctic air showing up in the far north of Saskatchewan. That was up in Collins Bay. So currently, it is 0 degrees in Lloydminster and Regina, 4 in Swift Current, -8 in Yorkton, -2 in Estevan. Into central parts of the province, -14 right now, so a bit chilly in Hudson Bay, but it warms up to 2 on the plus side. In Kindersley, it's -1 in Meadow Lake, -4 in Wynyard, -10 in Nipawin. Up north, -22 in Collins Bay, -20 in Stony Rapids, -10 in Buffalo Narrows, and -14 in La Ronge. And down south, look at that. Maple Creek still roasty and toasty at 9 degrees, but many other locations on the plus plus side as we head towards the eastern side of the province. Temperatures do drop off, but they're still pretty mild. -5 in Broadview and -8 in Melville. On to our computer modeling. Well, we see a little bit of active weather sliding through Saskatchewan, but it's isolated in nature, so we don't anticipate a lot in the way of accumulation. And you can certainly see these pressure lines pretty far apart, so not a lot of wind expected tomorrow. Cloudy skies for La Ronge tomorrow, -6 degrees, -14 in Stony Rapids, -5 in Buffalo Narrows, -8 in Key Lake, -2 for Meadow Lake tomorrow, -1 in Spiritwood. Temperatures of around 5 degrees for Kindersley and Rosetown. And as we take a look at southwestern Saskatchewan, well, a bit more sunshine in Maple Creek and a whole lot warmer than other places. 14 degrees, 7 in Leader, 3 in Outlook, 8 in Swift Current, 3 degrees in the Estevan tomorrow, 5 in Moose Jaw, 1 in the Queen City, and -3 degrees for Yorkton, still pretty mild. Also -3 in Melfort, -2 for Watrous and Humboldt, and -4 in Hudson Bay. For the detailed forecast, I would take a look at the Battlefords, -5 overnight, partly cloudy skies, some morning fog showing up, -1 degree, and then 2 degrees on Sunday with a mix of rain and snow, -2 on Monday, and then staying around basically 1 or 0 degrees for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So mild conditions yet again. 30% chance of flurries tonight for Prince Albert, -8 degrees. Some morning fog expected. That will dissipate. -3 for a high, and then -1 on Sunday. A chance of some rain or snow. -3 to start the work week. -5 on Tuesday, and then once again pretty mild conditions for Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And Saskatoon's overnight temperature dropping down to -6 degrees. And then tomorrow, not bad at all. -1 for a high. Some morning fog. Yes, that will get out of the way. And then as we roll into Sunday, it could be some rain or some snow or a combo platter thereof. But look at that temperature, 2 degrees, -2 to start the work week, and then temperatures hovering around that 0 degree mark for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday.
Hey, Charlie Brown, you're smiling now. That's right, I am.
Well, you might soon be seeing a lot more from the Peanuts gang if Sony's takeover of the beloved franchise gets the green light. Sony Group announced in December that it was taking an 80% stake in Peanuts worldwide. Now, the company's quarterly earnings report show it's considering ways to incorporate characters from the world of Charlie Brown into its music, video, and live events. Sony executives said they plan to closely collaborate with the family of the Peanuts creator Charles Schulz if the deal goes through as expected. And if you're a fan of Doctor Who, there's some memorabilia hitting the auction block. You can get your hands on a number of items from the British sci-fi show over the next 2 weeks. Doctor Who is 60 years old. That's young in my books, which means there's a lot of props. One of the highlights, a light-up sonic screwdriver. Okay. 20% of the auction's proceeds will go to the BBC Children in Need charity. As he prepares to perform at Super Bowl halftime show, Bad Bunny made a high-profile deal in the world of podcasting. Bad Bunny is the co-owner of an athlete management agency dedicated to boosting Latin American athletes. That company, Remas Sports, now has reached a deal with iHeartMedia to create podcasts and other content. It's set to launch with a podcast featuring MLB, Major League Baseball, Comeback Player of the Year, the Atlanta Braves' Roland Acuna Jr. Bad Bunny is set to take the stage at Sunday's halftime show 1 week after winning the Grammy for Album of the Year.
All right, Jeff, there is a new offering at Persephone Theater.
And it's opening night. Is it the spy who came in from the cold, cold heart? I don't know, but the Romeo Initiative has many of these elements in it. It's the brand new production at Persephone Theater. Christy and Mac are with us today. So first of all, thank you for letting us be on the set.
No, thanks for being here.
So Mac, tell us, what is this play about in broad strokes?
So initially, what seems to be the ideal love story between Karen and Marcus appears to be more than what you might expect, because in the 70s, in the Cold War, there was this spy operation going on between the East and West Germans, where they would send guys over to romance secretaries and try to get government intel. So there's a lot afoot here in this play.
A lot going on. And so how do you is it a comedy? Is it a thriller? Is it a spy situation?
It's a smorgasbord. So we have
That's Swedish.
That's true. We have a romantic comedy, and each act has a little bit of a different feeling. And there's little Easter eggs throughout that you can kind of keep track of and see if you can deduce the spy thriller aspect of it throughout from the beginning to the end.
Did you have to do any extra, I'll say, research because of the fact that it was the Cold War era?
Yeah, there's an incredible amount of source materials out here, books such as Stasi-Land or other TV shows that we would either read or watch and then discuss in the rehearsal hall, because it is such a different world and such a, especially for Marcus's perspective, coming from the Soviet bloc of the East Germany.
And is this world created here filled with accents, or have you done away with the accents and everybody just, okay, we'll just go with
No accents, just Saskatchewan for all of us.
All right. Well, thank you both for letting me be here. Break a leg with the show. I'm sure it's going to be a huge success. So thanks again.
Thank
Cheers.
you.
Thanks so much.
We'll see you at the show.
Auf Wiedersehen.
All right, Jeff, we've got a variety for Pick of the Day today.
We sure do. We're going to start off with a sky shot. This one comes to us from Travis. On the way into work when the moon decided to peek out from the clouds once more before the day had fully started. That's a nice description and a nice shot there, just sort of that winking moon there. So thank you, Travis. Our next one comes to us from Lori. Actually, next two pictures. Lori doesn't tell us a lot about these miniature horses, except they're really woolly. She simply tells us hoof trimming day. So there's this one, and there's this one. So yes, they're all wooled up because it's so cold out, but a couple of good-looking critters there. So thank you for sharing that, Lori. And finally, from Maggie Jones, we are wishing Mahalo a happy 5th birthday. You bring us joy every day. Love your humans. And I believe mahalo means thank you in Hawaiian, but that's a great-looking dog there, Maggie, so I hope it's a happy birthday. I hope Mahalo got a lot of treats on the birthday day there. So, and if you'd like to share an image with us, you can do so by sending it to cfqcnews@ctv.ca.
Well, still to come on CTV News, cheering on Saskatchewan Olympic athletes, how one provincial park is embracing them and the competition. As people worldwide have their eyes on the 2026 Winter Olympics, Saskatchewan is showing its support for local athletes. Mick Favel paid a visit to Echo Valley Provincial Park, where people are celebrating.
The flag of the 2026 Canadian Olympic team is now flying over Echo Valley Provincial Park. In celebration of the Winter Games, Echo Valley has done some redecorating with a few of the major events readily available in the park.
There's nothing like getting out in that crisp winter air, going for a snowshoe, going for a skate, trying croquis curl. There's truly something for people of all ages to get outside, truly embrace winter and feel better about yourself.
I'd like to present the bronze medal to Rhea.
Students and staff from Cornwall Alternative School are wrapping up an afternoon of winter activities, trying out the podium and medals, which are free for all to use. For the school, outdoor education and sports are a great way to introduce students to a healthier lifestyle, which could take them many places.
Skating is part of who we are as Canadians. You know, with the Winter Olympics here starting today, we thought it'd be a good idea just to see some of our future Olympians out skating.
Students are currently learning about the Olympics and local athletes competing, including Capel Valley's own Mark McMorris. This is the first time Jonathan Anderson has been on skates this year.
I love to be out here. I was skating with my friend earlier. It's really nice. I like the view. It's really nice out here. And the weather really warmed up. So nice to be out here.
Echo Valley is one of the provincial parks open in the winter months for activities. Whether it be skating or skiing, Olympic dreams have to start somewhere, and there is no better time than now.
We're so proud of the athletes just for being there on behalf of our entire country. And yeah, just encouraging guests to come out here. Maybe they'll find a sport that they love enough to pursue it in an amateur or professional career.
Mick Favel, CTV News, Echo Valley Provincial Park.
When we come back, a look at the Grey Cup Tour that starts tomorrow, and later who this owl has its eye on as the Super Bowl is about to be played.
All right, welcome back. It's time for the rural forecast. And of course, this week, our featured community has been Sturgis. And let's go to the picture. Here we go. Yes, I'm wearing a Sturgis pullover here. Sturgis is my dad's hometown. And another person from Saskatoon who has connections to the Sturgis area, Cindy Molesky, well-known photographer here in town. She grabbed this for me when she was taking the trip to Sturgis. So thank you, Cindy, for the hoodie. It's roasty and toasty and keeping me warm. So thank you very much. And now on to the rural forecast. Temperatures are staying mild. Look at that. 6 degrees for Kindersley, 3 for Outlook. Hudson Bay, not bad. 4 on the minus side tomorrow. That's still above seasonal. As we make our way south, we can take a look at some very warm temperatures around Maple Creek. And as we make our way towards the eastern side of the province, as is usually the case, things do drop off. But those temperatures at or above 0 in most places. Kenora at -3. So what about Sturgis? Well, for tomorrow, we're looking at -8 degrees. Actually, it's not going to be that cold. It's going to be around -3 degrees for the Sturgis area. The winds are going to shift around a little bit. But also want to remind people that Sturgis, we've got the basketball on right now. 2-on-2 curling next week, and at the end of the month, the big the ice skating festival there. So lots of things going on in Sturgis, and Sturgis is where internet plans of up to 1 gig are available from SaskTel.
The Grey Cup is hitting the road tomorrow as the riders kick off their community tour. Its first stop tomorrow at Elgar Peterson Arena as the Humboldt Broncos take on the Estevan Bruins. Sunday, it will be in Nipawin as the Curling Sask Mixed Doubles Tournament. Monday, it will visit the Carey Vicker Centre in Melfort. On Tuesday, the Cup will head to Prince Albert for the Raiders game. Next Thursday, the Ryder Store at Midtown Mall will host the trophy. It will then head to Regina and Weyburn before stopping in North Battleford Tuesday, February 17th at the Don Ross Centre Gym. Its final stop will be February 18th in Meadow Lake during the Saskatchewan Winter Games. The location is yet to be determined. Fans are invited to come out and celebrate the Riders' 2025 Grey Cup win. Coming up, will a wise old owl help predict the winner of the Super Bowl? Then if human football isn't in your weekend plans.
Select Hair Services brought to you by Sage, the beauty bar.
We've got another great night of entertainment coming up right here on CTV, starting at 7 with Celebrity Wheel of Fortune. Well, the Toronto Zoo's great horned owl Butters is providing us with a Super Bowl prediction. Butters is picking the Patriots to beat the Seahawks in the big game on Sunday. As you saw, he didn't seem to even think about it. And remember, if you haven't made your pick yet, owls are actually known to be quite wise.
What is Butters' prediction record so far? I want to know.
I haven't looked into it, but All right. Well, if the Super Bowl isn't your thing, perhaps this could be.
Down at the fluff end zone, Oscar is, well, I'm not sure what he's doing. He's pawing at
the 22nd annual Puppy Bowl will see a record 150 dogs from shelters across the U.S. and the British Virgin Islands compete. The annual event aims to promote pet adoption with adoption stories intertwined with, of course, a little friendly competition. New this year will be a special halftime exhibition game featuring 15 senior dogs, Team Oldies versus Team Goldies. So maybe people will be switching back and forth.
They might. I don't know if anybody does this anymore because, times have changed so much. But I remember one year, I think it was the Wayans brothers did counter programming for the halftime show. They did a comedy special during halftime for those people who didn't want to watch the music.
So many options now.
Well, there are so many options, especially on the food aisle. There's lots of good eating.
Yes, but the forecast is going to be decent if you're heading out.
Forecast is looking good. If you're outside, it might be a little messy in some respects because we've got ourselves sort of a rain snow mix on Sunday. But tomorrow, another beautiful day. Temperatures in and around that 0 degree mark or 1 degree mid-afternoon. But all in all, another Pleasant Valley Saturday.
Okay. What do you got on your note sheet?
Oh, I just wanted to say the actual name of the event in Sturgis is the Skate Sturgis Ice Carnival. That's February 28th and March 1st.
All right. Well, it's been a beautiful week. Very mild
You're
temperatures. Thank you for that. And thanks to Chad Hills because he ventured out a little bit earlier today to
what a hero!
Some beautiful images of our city. So we're going to leave you with that tonight. Have a great and safe weekend.
Take care.